Okay.
Welcome, everybody, on a Sunday afternoon, special Denko Gridiron edition, Sunday, April the 5th. I'm John Piper. We are now, as we've always streamed on Facebook Live, we're also now on YouTube Live. So we heard from a lot of the fans out there, especially the athletes. They prefer to get on YouTube. So we listen. We're out there live today. So make sure you go to the YouTube page, Denko Gridiron, and subscribe for any new content or any live content. We'll be out on YouTube as well this season. So thank you so much. We know a lot of y'all are at home right now, sheltering in place, being safe, and we do appreciate that. And please be joined by special guest, Denton Ryan head coach, Dave Henigan. How you doing, Coach?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. And we were talking a little bit as we were getting ready to start the show. You were in the virtual green room. We're through technology. We're being very safe. And I saw some of my neighbors today. They look like they're about 7-8 feet apart. And I was kidding with them. I said, hey, you guys look like you're too close. But I applaud everybody out there for being safe right now. And I'll just say it, kind of weathering the storm. You know, we'll use a lot of sports analogies in real life, as we always do, Coach. But hey, I want to ask you first and foremost, you and your wife, Lori, both educators. You got 3 boys at home. You guys are in pretty much locked down there at the Henigan house. How's things been going for y'all?
Well, it's going as well as it can, you know, just like anybody else. You know, we were on spring break coming back from some unofficial visits for Seth, our middle son and our quarterback. And when all this stuff hit, and then shortly thereafter, the University of Texas, where my oldest son, Ian, goes to school, kind of shut it down with online classes. And so, you know, we're doing the best we can and trying to, you know, stay busy and stay connected and continue to get some work done and some school work done. And so we're probably just like most families right now.
Well, Coach, I do want to give a shout out, you know, some local businesses. We always try to promote the community. That's one reason we started the Denko Gridiron Show, is really to be a community outreach here in the Denton County area. And a couple of folks that are still open for business, and we want to encourage everyone at home. If you get tired of cooking for yourself, great restaurants like Shoal Creek Tavern, Verf's down in Flower Mound, Lambo's at the Shops of Highland Village, our friends at Marty B's, they're in Bartonville, Marty B's himself out there serving food. Joey O's has 2 sandwich locations, and our friends at Six Stitch Apparel that provide a lot of the attire that we wear on the show and things like that. They're all still open for business. So we encourage, you know, the hashtag shop local and support the local businesses. And I know, Coach, you know, a lot of the Denton Ryan supporters, Booster Club supporters, any local restaurants up there close to the Denton Ryan that you want to mention that are still open that maybe we could order some takeout or some curbside?
Well, I mean, we've tried to go to Choloso for one. Choloso is a big time supporter of not only Ryan Raider football, but I'll do a lot for our school. You know, and I'm gonna fail to mention some of them. So,
sure,
you know,
sure, yeah, you're better off.
Disclaimer, but
yeah,
you know, you've got Dickey's Barbecue, you've got you know, people like that, and Chicken Express, and you know, on and on and on. People, Jersey Mike's, and people that have supported us and over the years, and we're trying to you know, give back. So like just on an individual basis, you know, our family, we're trying to go to the restaurants, you know, and go out to eat, right, 2 or 3 times a week, just to and generally it's local. You know, we want to support the local privately owned, and that's not to say you can't go to Chick-fil-A or something, you know, but we're trying to support the ones that it's going to hit the hardest, you know. And so I encourage anyone that has the means to do that to continue to do that, because you know, eventually we're going to get to the other side of this thing, and we want a lot of those people to continue to be in business.
Yeah, Coach, has anything you've done, you know, in sports or in education, help prepare you for what we're going through right now? You know, the challenge is not only managing your staff, being, you know, the athletic director there at the Ryan campus, and working with your administration and working with your athletes. Has anything at all come close to helping you prepare to navigate these waters we're in right now?
No, not really. I mean, it's it's uncharted territory, obviously, for a lot of us in a lot of different areas, not just in athletics and education, but, we're in the people business and we're in the relationship business. And a lot of the work that we do comes face to face. And that's just the way it is. You don't, the practices, the workouts, a lot of the things, the relationships that are built when you're there at school with the kids and with the coaching staff. And so it's been a challenge, but I think that our staff is doing a great job of staying connected with the kids, and we're trying to divide it up, by position coach, which is generally the way it's divided up, even more in, when we're in school, and as far as how we structure our relationships with the kids and keep holding them accountable as much as we can, during school, and then it presents obviously a much bigger challenge when you're not around them.
Well, Coach, your wife Lori, as well as in the education system, are y'all trying to use like Google Classroom or any other tools? I know I've been able to leverage technology to do a lot of different things, even outside of sports, from here in the studio. Have you guys noticed anything unique about how you're reaching your kids and the community?
Well, our coaches are using Google Classroom to share workouts, and we've done what a lot of staffs are doing, and we're not going to do what everybody's doing just because they're doing it, but we've never really done that in anything we do at Ryan. But we have our workouts posted in Google Classroom, and then our strength guys have filmed themselves doing the body weight workouts, or their wife has filmed them or whatever. And then we've got, for every exercise the kids are supposed to do, we have a link to a YouTube video that shows how the exercise is supposed to be done if they don't understand how to do it. We have stuff that we've done over the years that is becoming more important in Huddle, which is a big teaching tool for us in regard to film, and you can do voiceovers and overlays and things like that. And all of our kids have Huddle accounts, so we're teaching like that. And then a bunch of our coaches are doing Zoom type meetings with their position groups, just like we would be doing if we were having a practice. And so teaching alignment or whatever. I mean, there's things that can get done. You're limited, but you have to make the best of the situation. And I think our guys are doing a good job of being creative and trying to figure out a way to reach kids best they can. And, and it's not going to be perfect, but we don't expect it to be. And we're going to pick up where we need to pick up whenever it is time to get back to work and get back with the kids.
Coach, for all the Ryan Raider fans that are out there and the players that may be watching this, probably on replay, maybe on the new YouTube channel, any direct message, leaning into the camera, any message to the players, the parents, just the community that you can share with them?
Well, I mean, I think the big thing is that we want everyone to be safe and be smart and do our part. We miss, you don't ever know what you have until it's gone, right? It's a cliche, and kids will grab about getting up and go to school, and sometimes you grab about going to work or whatever, and then all of a sudden you look up and you can't go, and you realize what you have. And we have something pretty special. And so, just do your part on an individual basis to hopefully flatten that curve and be smart and understand that this thing is serious and it's unprecedented, and we have to do our part as individuals so that collectively we can get back to our normal day-to-day stuff as quickly as possible and as safely as possible. And the sooner we do our part individually, the better off we're going to be as a whole.
Well, Coach, you have three boys at home. You've got Ian that played for you. You got Seth there at home, current Ryan Raider quarterback, and you got Quinn as well. I've noticed y'all been getting some workouts in the backyard. Have you still been in coaching mode, or have they asked you to run any routes yet?
Well, it's a little bit of both, I'm definitely still in coaching mode. So we do have a little bit of advantage in that I coach the quarterbacks, and the starting quarterback at least lives with me. So we have we're not going to fall off too much there, but it gets old throwing to your dad, and it gets old throwing to your older brother real fast. And so we're trying to make the best of the situation. But a little bit of both. I'm definitely running a few more routes than I have in the past.
Now, even myself, it's always good to kind of relive some sports moments and some memories. But, I've been probably on Twitter a little bit more than I normally am. And I'm purposely not watching. I have actually, I don't know if y'all can see it, probably a little bit of, but Denton Ryan right up here behind me. I don't know if y'all can see that
Yeah.
where you're viewing at home, but I purposely don't really turn on CNN and ABC News and all that news stuff that is really a lot of gloom and doom. I mean, I turn it on enough to know that, hey, I need to shelter in place, stay safe. I've got portable hand sanitizer. I'm trying to stay healthy, drinking water, taking care of my body, but I don't want to get bogged down in all that craziness that's going on. I mean, a lot of it's out of our control, but one thing I noticed, Coach, really, here we are in March Madness, one shining moment, I'll use a little basketball analogy, is your youngest son, Quinn. He put together a little experiment there in the garage, and he might be a future engineer as well. I saw it. He had, I think, a train going through there. I should probably post the video to the page here later. You have to send it to me. But I saw it, and really cool deal. I've never seen you get that excited. Quinn goes in there and, man, chest bumps. Your wife, Lori, a lot of excitement there at the Henigan household after that Quinn. Can you kind of articulate that to the fans? I probably didn't do a very good job explaining that one.
Yeah. Well, if you've never seen me get that excited, you haven't been at practice or at games very often. So that does happen. I'm pretty low key, but it happens. And no, that was it's a science thing and it's a STEM thing. So like it's called a Rube Goldberg, I guess. I don't know. My wife told me that, and they do it in second grade. It's a STEM thing. And so his science teacher had challenged the kids to come up with a Rube Goldberg, which is a bunch of different processes using different modes of velocity and, levers and things like that. Anyway, whatever. But he had worked hard on it. It took him 80 something tries to get all this thing, with a ball, hitting another ball on the top of the garage, dropping out through a hoop, hit like a cribbage board, which clicked this truck off and knocked over a bunch of dominoes and hit another car and came down a ramp with a dart attached to the front of the car and popped a balloon. So it was pretty. It was a labor-intensive process, put it that way. So we were excited when it was done.
Yeah, that was awesome. I watched it several times. So, hey, and I was kind of kidding about, you never getting excited. I hope you know that, right?
Yeah.
But, hey, unfortunately, as this thing lingers on, I know Dallas County issued a shelter in place till May the 20th. So that keeps pushing things back. I know there's still a little hope. The UIL to have a remnant of a baseball season. I think we've got it in 12 or 14 spring baseball games, and there is hope to maybe resume some late in May, but let's face it may not happen. And I bring that up to say, hey, you may not get back on campus this year. Any talk from the UIL and the coaching community that you've talked to, maybe Coach Florence as well, about changing some rules where you'll be able to get more coaching time over the summer, or change some things up where you'll be able to have some face time as a staff with your players over the summer and change some things up?
Well, first of all, who knows what's going to happen? We're closed until May the 4th, and we're all hopeful that we'll be able to go back. Right now, I'll just be honest with you, I feel sick for all these kids and coaches, particularly the seniors of these spring sports that are not possibly going to have the opportunity to finish their seasons, particularly the seniors. I mean, it's just, devastating in a lot of ways, all of it is. But that part is, for us, it's home for those kids. Over the summer, who knows? Everything is so up in the air right now. I haven't had any conversations with anyone about it. UIL changed the rule last year, or the year before, I can't remember, where we get 2 hours a week where we can coach football in the summer anyway. So they may extend something, maybe make it a little more. I don't know. For us, we probably wouldn't do a whole lot more anyway. We plan on playing till Christmas. And so we don't want to show up tired, if that makes sense. Now, obviously, we'll have a little bit of catching up to do, but you don't have to be ready to go on August 1st. You got to be ready to go by the time district starts. In reality. And so it's going to be a little different deal. I told all my coaches, my football coaches, that look, we have to be prepared to do some things differently this summer and depend upon what happens. Typically we work out during the month of June structurally and with organization as far as the kids and coaches. And in July, we kind of take it off. The coaches go on vacation. The kids are, they work out on their own. There's nothing structured. So depending upon what happens over here in the next 6-8 weeks, we'll have to make some decisions about which way we're headed as far as what the summer looks like.
Well, Coach, you start your 9th season as head coach of the Ryan Raiders. You've been on staff before, and man, it's exciting times. You plan on being as a state title contender each and every season, which is really unheard of, very rare in Texas high school football. So I applaud you for that. I was in the back of the end zone at AT&T Stadium during the state title game, sitting there with right next to Coach Florence. It was a fluke. I just got back there. It was really crowded. And, boy, your team battled all the way to the end. Seth really airs it out, had an opportunity to hit Drew Sanders in the end zone and just fell a little short. It was definitely a catchable ball, but wow, what a season. And what was the message you take? I know you teach a lot of life lessons as a football coach, but what was that message you take on to the graduating class and then obviously to build on for your underclassmen that are coming back this season?
Well, I mean, they just, it was a rough way to end the game. It was so close, but I mean, the reality is they could have checked it in. We were down 2 scores with 6 minutes left in the game and something like that. And those kids battled back and laid it on the line. They did something, this bunch did something, that senior bunch that's about to graduate, they did something that's only been done 5 other times in the history of this program, play for a state championship. And it's something that hadn't been done in almost a decade. And so it was a pretty special year, and obviously we all want to win it all, and we're right on the cusp of winning it all for about the last 4 or 5 years. And so we're right there and hoping to take the next step. But for the future kids, I mean, that's pretty much what the message has been is the difference is very small, whether it's a falling down on a route or a busted assignment or getting beat deep or a penalty or, there's about 10 or 12 plays down there in that game that determine the winner in that last game. And that's the way it is at the end of the year. And so our kids understand that. We got a mature bunch coming back, and I was talking about the spring sports, feeling sick for them, and I do, again, particularly the seniors, but I also feel a little bit sick for our football kids. They love the work. It's a challenge this time of year, and they work their tail off. But they're missing out on that too. They're missing out on something very important, which is off season. And so I feel bad for those kids too, because that's when you're winning championships this time of year, not necessarily in November and December. And so, but the reality is when we get back, we're all going to be starting at the same point. And so, it's a long way to say is once we get back, our kids are excited about the kind of football team we can be, and we have big goals.
Well, Coach, you returned several starters on defense in 2020, but you got a lot of spots open on the offensive side. You lose 32 lettermen, but you return 30 lettermen. So you got a great nucleus of returners there at Denton Ryan. What can you say about the class of 2021 and the leadership that you have coming in?
Well, it's a class of 2021 is a pretty special bunch. You've got a lot of guys that have played a lot of football, a lot of big games, high character kids, with Jatavian Sanders and Billy Bowman and DJ Arkansas and Coach Henigan and Ty Marsh. And you have kids who have played a ton of football, a bunch of big games, and have been winning since they started playing together a bunch in 7th grade. And then you combine that with some key guys coming back in that junior to B class with Austin Jordan and Garyon Robinson and a bunch of others. And then our incoming sophomore class is a pretty talented group. We're very excited about a bunch of those guys. And so you have a nucleus of kids who've been in really big games and won really big games back. And you combine a 10-0 JV team and a 10-0 freshman team with some of those kids who will contribute on the varsity next year. And pretty excited about what we have. We'll start off the year, I think, pretty youthful, particularly on offense. We're going to lose 4 or 5 linemen. Lose our running back Imani, who's it's going to be very hard to replace.
Imani
that guy.
Bailey, great player.
And so, but we do have the 3-year starter quarterback back, and we're going to have 2 big time receivers back, and we feel like we can be good in the offensive line as those kids grow up. And so we're excited about those kids, but early, we may take some hits as far as how good we think we're going to be later on, particularly now that we haven't really had a spring to work. And then defensively, we have Jatavian, 2 or 3 defensive tackles, DJ Arkansas at linebacker, Ty Marsh is the rover, Austin Jordan and Billy Bowman. All those kids are back. Because Garyon Robinson played a ton of football. Anthony Hill played in the playoffs. Max Marshall played a ton. So we have a bunch of guys back defensively that have played a lot of football. And so, once again, we're excited about the type of team we can be going into next season again.
Well, Coach, I've got your schedule. I know I'm not sure. We're working on the lighting up here, but I got your schedule posted on the big screen behind me. District 5A, your district, you have a lot of the Frisco schools along with Denton Broncos. You start the season off with South Oak Cliff, but then a matchup that everybody's kind of excited about in the community. You haven't played Denton Guyer in a while, but you got Denton Guyer in week 2. And then they get a new head coach in Rodney Webb. Have you had a chance to talk to Coach Webb, or did you know him from your previous coaching in the coaching fraternity?
Yeah. We know each other. I mean, and we played Rockwall my first 2 years here. So we're familiar with each other. The first year they beat us at C.H. Collins in a close game. And then the next year we went over in 2015. This was when we were still 6A. Went over and beat them over in Rockwall. And so, yeah, I mean, the opening slate is tough. South Oak Cliff is a top 20 team in 5A, and then Guyer obviously played the state championship last year. So it should be a great environment. A lot of big crowd, and kids will be excited. Typically, we don't play other Denton schools, whether it's Guyer, Braswell, or Denton High in non-district. It's just something we've never done. But the way it worked this year is I was either going to play 9 games or we were going to switch some things. And it's because I got dropped on the day of realignment. And so, we got together and figured it out. So it should be exciting.
Yeah, it should be a dogfight up there at C.H. Collins, and hopefully we'll have a really a massive crowd. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But you got anything you want to say to Coach Webb and the Guyer Wildcats here today?
Oh, Coach Webb is obviously there's some changes over there, but they found a way to find a great one. I mean, he's going to continue what they've been doing over there for a long time, which is being a tough, hard-nosed, winning football program. So I don't have any doubt that's going to continue on with Coach Webb in charge of the Guyer Wildcats, so I think they'll have a great year as well and continue on, and should be a great game.
Yeah, we're going to have Coach Cody Moore on as well. He's staying at Braswell. There was some hoopla about him going over to Plano, and he stays at Braswell. So great things happening here in Denton ISD in the football and all the athletic programs. A lot of great athletes coming out of Denton ISD, and I know you're proud to be a part of it as well as we are too. So, and we got some comment Jeff got. He says, "Don't take the cheese." I'm not trying to set up any traps here or anything. We're just talking.
I'm not. I won't take the cheese, Coach Scott. Don't worry.
Yeah, Coach Scott tuning in today. Well, Coach, how do you like where you ended up for the next 2 seasons? Pretty nice to travel to Frisco. You get to play inside the Star in Frisco a couple times. You got to like kind of where you landed.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped worrying about stuff like that a long time ago. We moved. The big difference is we moved to Region 2. We've been in Region 1. Ryan has been in Region 1 historically for forever. And so we moved to Region 2. And Region 2, in my opinion, is the toughest region in the state, maybe any classification. You're looking at, 5 or 6 top 10 in the state teams alone in Region 2 between us, Lone Star, Highland Park, Longview, Lufkin, Independence, Lancaster. You're looking at a gauntlet. And so, we ended up beating the Region 2 champ last year. And so hopefully we can continue to play at that type of level, because we're going to have to play at a really high level to get back to where we want to be.
Well, Coach, man, it's been really good to have you on. I was hoping maybe you'd be in your family room or kitchen. We see some of the Henigan boys in the background there, and we'd grab 1 or 2 of them, but maybe next time
we can get them.
Yeah. I don't know. You got Seth handy? You want to have him pop on and maybe a question or 2 for Seth?
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on, so I don't yell in your ear.
Yeah.
Seth.
Again, you guys, if you're stumbling across this, we're the Denko Gridiron Show here on Facebook Live and YouTube. We're talking to Coach Dave Henigan, Denton Ryan Raiders. Does he have his earbuds in? Can he hear you?
He's coming, though. Like, believe it or not, he's out there on a Sunday studying.
There you go.
He's got some online homework that he's doing. So his mom's interrupting him right now.
Well, we stress. we stress student,
he's on his way.
Then athlete.
That's right.
Student, athlete.
That's
and
exactly right.
we want to see everybody succeed at the next level, whether it's on the field or in the classroom or in business. A lot of great leaders coming out of these football programs here in Denton and the surrounding communities. Yep. So,
all right, hold on one second.
Seth Henigan, how you doing?
Doing great. How about you?
Hey, I know you're busy on the field. We've done the show for a couple years. I'm John Piper with the Denton Gridiron Show. We cover all the Denton area high schools and a couple others down south. But, man, how's it been for you, sheltering in place, studying from home? I know you're getting some workout in with your brothers and your dad in the backyard, but what's it been like for just a class of 2021 student being kind of in lockdown there at the house?
I mean, yeah, it's really different. I mean, we're still adjusting to all the online courses and stuff like that. But I mean, it's getting easier to cope with. The beginning, it was kind of hard to focus on our schoolwork and still get our workouts in from home and stuff like that. But now that we've been 2-3 weeks in, it's getting a little bit easier to just get on a regular schedule and still get our work in the classroom and in working out.
Well, man, it's good having you on here. I know you're excited just talking to your dad. I can see the enthusiasm. You've obviously been part of a great program, and it's really special. I've talked to a lot of coaches that have their sons that play for them. What's it been like for you playing for your dad?
I mean, he's been around football his whole life. He played in college. He was a quarterback in college. So just having that relationship as a quarterback, as a coach, and as a father with me as his son. I mean, it's wonderful just to have him as a person I can look up to in every aspect of my life. And I mean, he's a good coach. He's a good father figure, and it's just awesome to be around him all the time.
Well, he must be there with his arms crossed, making sure you're saying the right things. But that was a good answer there. That's a good answer. Hey, yeah. I take it Coach can hear you through the speakers. Can you hear us? Okay, or he heard that. But hey, now I do want to ask you this: being a quarterback, do you ever sit down at the dinner table at home, during the season, and say, "Hey, Dad," or "Hey, Coach"? I don't know. Probably during the football season, you probably still call him Dad, I would think. But do you ever try to put in your own plays? Do you ever have something that you see maybe in practice? You say, "Hey, Coach Henigan, how about this? How's that go?"
Yeah, I definitely give him my input, and I definitely tell him what I think of whatever's going on. Because, I mean, he trusts me to know what's happening. Because, I mean, I know football pretty well, too, since I've been around it my whole life because of him. So he knows that I'm not just a regular dude, and I know what I'm talking about most of the time. So sometimes he doesn't take my advice, and he just goes, because he's the coach at the end of the day, but he still listens to me a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, hey, congratulations. You're getting a lot of offers. I know it can be overwhelming as a high school kid, to just be a regular kid at school, plus a quarterback on the football team, and then navigate what your future holds. Can you kind of tip your cap? Any of the programs really piqued your interest in any way you're leaning thus far in the recruiting process?
I mean, Memphis and Nevada are basically my top two right now. And then as next year goes on, we'll see what happens. But as right now, those are pretty much my top ones. But I have a couple other ones. I'm still keeping my options open and stuff like that.
Well, it's great to have those opportunities. And, a lot of the Denton Ryan players get opportunities to go on and play football at the next level. So you're surrounded by some great athletes. That helps. Boy, when you have all those targets, Billy Bowman Jr., Jatavian Sanders, I know you're not able to work with them here in the spring. Have you been able to talk to them or FaceTime some of your receivers and your offensive linemen as well to kind of keep them motivated and really focused on next season?
Yeah, I mean, I have a group chat I have two separate group chats, one of my offensive linemen and one of my receivers and stuff like that. And I just touch base with them sometimes. And I give them some plays or something like that, or something that I know that my dad told me, since we can meet as a quarterback room, since he's a quarterback coach or whatever. And then I tell them what's happening or something like that. So we still touch base. And then, what you said about all those athletes at Denton Ryan, I've been playing with Jatavian and Billy my whole life. So, I mean, we've had that connection for a long time, and we're going to maintain it next year.
Yeah, some great team chemistry. And hey, final question. We'll get your dad back on to close things up. Once your playing days are over, are you plan on getting in the coaching profession, or do you have other ideas?
I mean, I think I will eventually, but I don't know what I'll do as of right now. So yeah, I bet I will be though. Well,
hey everybody, Denton Ryan, class of 21, incoming senior quarterback Seth Henigan. Yeah. Hey man, thanks for joining us. Put your dad back on. We'll wrap things up. We'll see you back on the field soon. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, a lot of fun. We weren't planning on that one, but it all worked out. We got Coach Henigan back. How are you, sir?
Good.
Man, I know you're a proud papa, well-spoken young man there. I know you're proud of all three of your boys, but good one right there in Seth Henigan. And it's a special honor to coach your kids. That's been pretty cool about the job, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a coach's kid, and so it's been fun. It's different, and it's there's a lot that when you coach in this program and your son plays that position, there's always an element of people who think the only reason he's playing is because your kid, no matter how good he is. So that part has been hard, but it just goes with the territory, and he's handled it well, and his brother handled it well, and so. It's fun. We're enjoying it. So again, I feel sick for all our kids, all sports, and then I feel sick for this one too, because this is a spring that I'm missing out coaching them, I mean, we're still getting it. Don't get me wrong, but it's different, but I'm going to hold him, I just heard him say that, I'm always fun to be around, or he always likes being around me or something to that effect. And he was heaping praise on me a minute ago. So I'm going to make sure that, he remembers that.
Well, Coach, I'm going to take it one step further, and I'm going to download the video and send you that clip, so you'll always have it for indefinitely.
There you go, even better.
That's just a fringe benefit of being on the show today. Well, hey, everybody, Coach Dave Henigan, Denton Ryan Raiders head football coach. Man, thank you so much for popping on today. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and let's have a great week. Hope to see you on the field here soon.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Coach. Wow, that was awesome. We had Coach Henigan, Denton Ryan, talked a little football, a little life. Seth Henigan popped on, the quarterback. A lot of great things happening there at Denton Ryan. And we look forward to bringing you some more content here over the next month of April, as everyone is still sheltering in place. We'll have all the coaches on here over the next month or so. So stay tuned. Make sure you comment, share, and we'll see you soon right back here on the Denko Gridiron Show. Y'all have a great day.